Went behind the house again last night, but before I get to all that, I want to congratulate Jeremiah Sutton. He won the T-shirt from the trivia question. Me and Captain Joe did our last podcast with Tracy. We had a trivia question about Tracy's story. The question was, how far away was the Sasquatch when Tracy first heard it coming? And there's a couple of people that put in their answers, but the only one that got it right was Jeremiah, and that was 50 yards away. So, about to ship out a T-shirt to him. Now, one way, I guess that's kind of good because we still have T-shirts to give other people. Because as many people got that right was how many shirts I was going to give away. I mean, we had what, 2 shirts and 2 hats. So I was going to let people go down the line and pick what they wanted in order that they won, but only one person won. So I'm going to ship his shirt out to him. So congratulations, man. Good job. Now, business. Back to business. 5 times in a row when I first started going back behind the house and I got in my one particular spot, it was 5 times in a row that I had activity. Obvious activity, throwing, breaking, running around. They even got extremely close to me, came up behind me one night. All that was recorded. I put all that out. It was also very obvious and very active when I left because I would leave the recorder behind and then they would do a bunch of stuff after I left, all the way up until I was coming back. The past 5 times that I've been out there, nothing has happened when I've been out there. I've been out there alone. I took my son out there. I've been out there empty-handed. I've been out there with a little bit of gear, but the past 5 times, nothing has happened. I'm not surprised. Now, I was trying to figure out, did nothing happen because they're just not here, right? There's no real way to tell that nothing's happening because they're not here unless they do something after I leave to let me know that they're still in the area. There was only one time out of the 5 times that I was pretty sure they were in the area, and that was the really fast bipedal stepping, right? And there was like 2 breaks in there. But every other time that I left the recorder out there, there's been a few little suspicious things, but definitely nothing obvious to say, yes, they're out there. Last night, I went out there, sat out there for a while, nothing happened again. And I got to thinking, what's different? If they are here, is there anything that's going on or that's changed that is making it to where they don't want to do anything? I thought, well, there's a lot more leaves on the ground now. It's a lot harder for them to move around. There's also a lot less cover now. And you also got to consider the fact that these creatures have survived as long as they have by they do keep the patterns from what I've seen, but they do change those patterns up, right? So survival instinct wise, it would not be smart for them to do what they're doing and let me know they're around every single time I go back there. I never expected that to happen anyway. But the question is, are they back there and not interacting? So I left a recorder. I took video of me being back there. I changed things up a little bit. What I'm going to start doing is going to my regular spot, wait a little bit, and then I'm going to go to a spot lower, which actually, and I walked through it in the video, gives them more of an advantage. So hopefully, if it is the fact that there's just more leaves and they don't have as much cover or whatever else, I found a spot to where I think it would make them feel a little more comfortable. Now, after I left a recorder back there. There was nothing 100%, but, just about every time I've had activity and I leave, it's about 7 to 10 minutes after I leave to where they start doing something. Well, I think it was approximately 8 to 9 minutes after I had left the recorder, something hits the recorder. If it's not hitting the actual recorder, it's hitting the tree. Now, odds are, who knows? It was windy. Maybe something fell out of the tree, okay, and then hit the recorder. That could definitely happen. But about a minute later, there's another very obvious loud sound. I can't tell what it is. It almost sounds like something like falling in the water, maybe. And it's really weird sound. It's like in between a banging and a vocal. I can't tell. You guys are just going to take a look at it. Again, one hand, it kind of looks like they hit the recorder and then a minute later they do whatever they did. They broke something, threw something, or they're yelling. I can't tell what it is. The problem about amplifying it is it amplifies everything around it, and there's too much static or background noise. The problem with denoising it is it takes away a lot of the noise that I'm looking for, and it's whatever they're doing. So I just amplified it a little bit. See if you guys can tell what it is. So that's kind of, it could go either way. I don't know if they were back there or not. That wasn't enough to suggest that they were 100% back there. But I will keep doing what I'm doing. Maybe they're there, maybe they're not there. Either way, I want to know if maybe they're back there and they're never going to do what they've been doing before. I see it as interactions. For all I know, they're trying to scare me out of there. And they realized it didn't work, so they're leaving me alone. Okay. I can't jump to a bunch of conclusions. All I know is 5 times in a row they were extremely active while I was there and when I left. And now these past 5 times they have not been. So we'll just keep on trying. Every couple nights I'll go back there and see what happens. I thought maybe the moon had something to do with it, but it's no longer super bright outside. So just got to keep testing, keep hacking away at it, and we'll get some answers.
And there's a ton of leaves everywhere. Maybe it's made it. They don't feel comfortable anymore. So I need to try to find a spot where they would feel comfortable with me being. So somewhere where they can still maintain cover and distance. Somewhere that gives them the benefit of cover, concealment, and the high ground, which in military terms put myself in the worst position imaginable. here. Try this spot out for a minute. I don't know, but I'll probably try something around here. Maybe up against that tree. Give them more of an advantage, maybe. And there's also another reason. I want them to be able to see me comfortably, so. All right, if I'm sitting here and I have all the lights behind me, that's my house up there. When you're looking from the other direction, I'll be silhouetting myself. Like in military terms, it's basically where you just block the light out that's behind you. So if I silhouette myself right here in this position, and they're over there on the other side, that's like pretty much being in a spotlight. That's actually how my first sighting was. My neighbor's entire front side of their house was lit up, and that thing just walked right in front of it. But if I sit here, I'll show you. So if they're across the creek looking at me, and I move around, I'll be able to see my movements because of all the lights behind me. And I'll be silhouetted. Maybe it'll make them more comfortable. We'll see. Gotta try something. Alright, 0 activity. They could just not be here, but we'll find out because I'll leave my recorder here. And we will see. I'll leave her here for about an hour and then come back. All right, after listening to it, it definitely sounds like something's hitting the recorder, but the other, I don't know what the other one is. It just sounds like banging of some sort. Cleaned it up a little bit, and it doesn't sound anything like a vocal, but it does sound like banging of some type. And the dog actually reacts, which is, I mean, the dog's in my yard, and I mean, I don't know where the banging is, so I don't know how far away it is, but the dog obviously reacts. And I'm not out there when that happens, so I don't know. I don't know where it happened or what it was, but it was definitely banging.